Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Amanda Matthews, and I'm the Marketing Coordinator here at Advisicon, and I'd like to welcome you all to today's webinar. Here at Advisicon, we are a group of authors, teachers, consultants, and technologists who are passionate about helping organizations learn, scale, and grow with a mix of methodology and technology to deliver results. We offer training in the Microsoft technologies such as Project, Office 365, Power BI, Visio, and SharePoint, as well as project management and methodology. With attending any of our training sessions, we offer PDUs as we are a registered education provider with the Project Management Institute. And at the close of today's session, I will give some instructions on how you can claim your PDUs and how to contact Advisicon for any questions you may have. Now, before we get started, I'd like to go over a few things so you know how to participate in today's event. Please review the control panel that should be on the top right of your screen. The audience is muted during the session, so in order to ask questions, you will need to submit them in the questions window of the control panel. This webinar will be recorded and uploaded on the Advisicon YouTube channel for those who could not attend today's session live. Please note that any questions or comments submitted will not display in the recording, nor will any of your personal information be shared. It is now my pleasure to introduce Michael Rimmer, Advisicon's project scheduler. So without further ado, I will hand this presentation over and we can get started.
Thank you, Amanda. Hi, everybody. My name is Michael Rimmer. I'm a project schedule/coordinator here at Advisicon. I've been working with Microsoft products for about 10 years, a little bit more, and I'm a Microsoft certified professional. I've had experience training in both professional and volunteer settings, both in one-on-one and in groups. One of the things I really love doing is working with people in technology, and that's kind of been my passion. So I want to get started with today's agenda. We're going to talk about what is Planner in Teams, why we use Planner in Teams in lightweight project management. I'm going to be showing you a demo of their functionality, and then I'm going to talk about where Microsoft's going with these tools. After that, we'll have time for some question and answers. So to start us off, what is Microsoft Planner? Microsoft Planner is a web-based tool designed for a group of people to work together and organize their plans and teamwork on various ad hoc projects. It's a virtual Kanban board or a task board that you're able to organize your tasks from left to right under specific buckets. This is a tool that wasn't really designed for individual use. That's what Microsoft designed to do. However, it can be used for that if you prefer that methodology. And it was also not designed for PMO or really executive teams. Like I said previously, it was designed for ad hoc teams and lightweight project management. So why would you use Planner? You would use it as a central hub for your team's assignments. It's really flexible in assigning and organizing and moving tasks around. In addition to that, you can really track progress of individual tasks at a glance, as well as the progress of the project. It also has the capability of tracking individuals' progress within the plan to see who has late tasks, who has on-time completed tasks, which tasks need to be completed. And one of the things I really appreciate about Microsoft Planner is how clean and unobtrusive it is. So the second part of today's webinar is going to be talking about Teams. And what is Microsoft Teams? At its very core, it's a communication and collaboration tool used for working together with your team members, whether they reside inside of your organization or outside of it. You have chats, meetings, you can share files and deliverables. It's essentially that one-stop shop for teamwork and sharing. Why would we use it? So it's an easy-to-use central hub for team communication, and that's kind of the difference between Teams and Planner that I'm going to talk about today, is the communication portion. You're able to organize and conduct meetings, whether it's audio or video or both. You can work together on files in an easy-to-locate space, and it has the capability of connecting different applications or connectors to it that are not a part of Microsoft. With that being said, I kind of want to go into a demo showing you how both of these applications function. So the first thing is we're going to talk about Microsoft Planner. Here is the Office 365 Planner. You can get here by typing in office.com going to the little waffle on the top left, going to your apps and clicking on Planner. You also have the ability of just clicking on the icon when it opens up. One of the other options is by typing in the URL bar, tasks.office.com. It'll take you straight to your Planner Hub. Upon entering the Planner Hub, you see a dashboard of all of the plans that you have favorited. You can see down here all of my recent plans that I've been a part of. If you want to, you can click on all plans and see all of the plans that are within your organization or that you have the visibility to see. On the left-hand side here, we have our navigation bar. We have our Planner Hub, which I just talked about. We have My Tasks. These are all of the tasks throughout all the various projects, and they have them categorized into not started, in progress, and completed. We have our favorites, and then our recent plans. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to create a new plan. So if I go ahead and create new plan, I'm going to do Webinar Wednesday. I'm going to make it public so that way anybody within Advisicon can see it. If I wanted to, I could create a little plan description, leveraging Planner for lightweight project management. And I'll just go ahead and create. As you can see in the background here, I have a lot of late tasks that I haven't completed. And that's kind of that indication, that's that red highlight over a calendar date. All right. So I've created a new plan. And as you can see, it's very blank. If I wanted to make this a favorite, I can just click on this little star. And to the right of the star, you see that I have multiple views. I have this board view, which is the task board that I talked about earlier. We have a chart view, which is the dashboard, a schedule view, which is a calendar. And this gives us multiple options that we can explore a little bit later. So this board view, this is the main functionality of Microsoft Planner. If I wanted to create a new task, it's as simple as entering a task name. If I wanted to create a task for developing code, I add a task. Now let's say I wanted to assign this task to somebody within my organization. Currently, I'm the only person here, so I'd have to either assign myself or I'd have to add somebody. Let's go ahead and assign myself to do this task. Now, I go ahead and I can click on this task to give it more information. Currently, it's under the to-do bucket. I have not created any new ones. I have not started the task yet, but let's say I wanted to make the start date this Friday, and the due date is going to be next Friday. I can enter a description of the task here, and if I wanted to, I could create a checklist. The cool part about the description, I'm just going to put develop some JavaScript. If I wanted to, I can have a show on the card. And as you can see, it populated over here underneath my task card. If I wanted to, I could add a checklist. So if I did checklist item number 1, enter checklist item number 2, checklist item number 3. If I wanted to display that on the task card, I can just click show on card, and it populates it over here on the left-hand side. Tasks also have the ability to attach and comment. Now, the comment section is anybody who is assigned to this task is able to put a comment on there. That way, if you are planning a project with several people and multiple people are assigned to one task, they can interactively talk to each other via that task. You see these multiple colors. These are called labels on the right-hand side. If you wanted to assign a particular task a kind of label, you have that ability to do that. I'm going to go over that a little bit later with a more fully fleshed out planner plan. So let's say this plan has multiple tasks and we need to add more people to this plan. I can go over here and I can click on members and I can easily add somebody here. So I'm going to add my coworker, Richard Wentworth. Pops up and just click on his name and now he is added to that task or to this plan. He's going to receive an email saying, congratulations, you have been added to Michael's Webinar Wednesday plan. Now, let's give Richard something to do. I'm going to create a new bucket. I already have a to-do bucket, but I'm going to make a develop PowerPoint bucket. Let's say that Richard needs to create a PowerPoint for the webinar Wednesday. So I'll add a task. I'll create slides, number 2 through 5. And I'm going to assign Richard. We'll click on the Add Task button. It's as easy as that. That's kind of the basics of creating a task. I'm going to go into something that I've already created before for one of our nonprofits that we're working with. It's called Brotherhood of the Broken. If I click here, you can see that there are many different buckets that I have previously created and assigned. You can see that some of them have been completed. This one has 4 tasks completed. Some of them still need to be completed. You see the resource here, Dan, he's a guest. So this is somebody outside of our organization that I have invited into this plan, and he has the capability of completing tasks and editing and creating. I want to show you how to do that, but I'm going to do that just a little bit later. Let's go ahead and look at the chart view. So if I click on charts, it's going to give you the dashboard that I showed you within the Planner Hub. This is the status. It shows you how many have been not started, how many tasks are in progress, late, and completed. The bucket is a wonderful dashboard that kind of shows you which tasks are not started, in progress, or late, depending on their bucket. And then down here, you see a dashboard based on the members. Same information displayed in different views. On the right-hand side here is a quick little way to add new tasks from this particular view. It's very simple, just the same way as your board view. Create a new task. We'll do funding task number 1. We'll assign Dan to it, and we'll give it a due date of tomorrow. The next view I want to show you is the schedule view. So as you can see, that brand new task that I added, you can see this right here. And if I wanted to, I could create another one. Simple as clicking the little plus icon on the top right-hand corner of that date. The ellipses up here on the top right-hand corner have multiple additions to each particular plan. When you create a new plan within Office 365 Planner, you also create an Exchange group, and that creates a SharePoint document library, and it creates an Exchange email address as well. So let's go to members. Members is how you're going to add somebody from outside of your organization into your particular plan. By clicking that, it takes me to Outlook Office 365, to the plan group that I have created, and I'm able to now add a guest member. So if I click on guests, I can go ahead and click add a member and enter in the email address of the person that I want to add. It's very simple. That person will then accept, and they'll be a part of your plan. So as you can see, this is a really agile and easy way to take a smaller project and organize with your team to be able to get tasks done in a very simple way. There's really no limit to what you can do with a particular task board. If you wanted to change all of these to different sprints, you absolutely could do that instead of buckets. You could have it be time phased through different dates. And it's very easy to organize your buckets by just dragging and dropping. One of the things that I didn't go over is how to progress a particular task. So let's say that this task is not started. I can just easily click it to in progress, and then this will also change our chart view. As you can see, the to-do task is now blue, and the in progress now has 1. A really cool new feature that Microsoft came out with back in early September is the ability to copy a task. So what you can do is you can click the little ellipses on the top right-hand corner. You can click Copy Task. Give this same exact task a different name. Let's say it has the same name because you're copying that task, and you can change which planner board you want to assign it to. Let's say I want to assign it to my Advisicon tasks, and I want to put it under the bucket webinar. I copy, and all of a sudden that task, as you see in the bottom left-hand corner, has been copied and will be on my new planner board. That was a very quick run through of what Office 365 Planner does and how you can leverage it to complete projects in a timely fashion. I now want to transition over to Microsoft Teams and how Microsoft Teams can help you, and then I'll show you how Planner can integrate within Microsoft Teams. So here is Microsoft Teams. It is a communication tool that allows people within your organization and outside of your organization to collaborate as well. On the left-hand side is your ribbon. This is the navigation tool that you're going to use through all of the options that Microsoft Teams gives you. The top one is activity. So as you can see, this is my feed. I have a missed call from Richard, and these are all of my history of the people that I have called. If I wanted to, I can click on this feed and just click on my activity, and it'll show me all of the activity that I have done most recently. Real simple, easy to understand. I'm going to go ahead to go to the next one, which is chat. If you've ever used Skype, this is really similar. You have your recent chats on the left-hand side, and you have your contacts over here on the right. To add a contact is very simple. You just go down to the bottom, you click Create a New Contact or Contact Group. You enter that person's name within your organization. And I think I have everybody added, so it won't actually populate anything, but it's that simple. You can always add people to your favorites by just dragging and dropping them up there. The next one is Microsoft Teams. So this is kind of where Teams gets its name from, and it's real wonderful functionality for managing projects within it, for lightweight project management. If you ever wanted to create a new team, you go to the bottom, you click Join or Create a Team. This gives you 3 different options. You can create a brand new team. You can join a team where somebody's given you a code, and I'll go over that a little bit later, how you would get a code from a team. And you can just join a team that your organization has already set up that is public. So I'm going to go over that first. If I just click Join Team for technical services, it's very simple. I have now joined that team. It shows up on my left-hand side. There it is. Now I'm going to create a new team. So you click Create a Team, you give it a new name. I'm going to name it Webinar Wednesday. Give it a quick description. All of my Webinar Wednesday presentations. I'm going to make it private because it's only going to be for me. And as you can see, you can create a team using an existing team as a template. I don't really want to do that right now, but that is a brand new feature that has just come out for Microsoft. And you can create a team from an existing Office 365 group. As you can see, I deleted my team name and deleted my description by doing that. So all webinar Wednesday presentations. Click on Next. It's going to create the team. I'm going to start adding people. I'm going to add Richard to my team and Leslie, who's our marketing director, and Amanda, who is our marketing advisor. Here I have the ability to change them to owners or members. I'm going to keep all of them as members for now. Now my team is started. It's very bare, it's very empty, but I want to show you how you can spruce it up and make it look nice and really function for managing projects. On the top, you see that you have conversations, files, and wiki. I'll go over those a little bit later, but conversations is essentially just starting chat with people. I could say, hey, Rich, if I do the @ symbol, I can pull up his link, and this will notify him that he's having a new message within this particular team. And what that will do is it will make it bold for him. As you can see, I have unread messages under Advisicon Sales and unread messages under the Products Division. Now, it's one thing that's really important about Microsoft Teams, and it's a little bit different from Skype for Business, is that when you start a conversation, you're actually starting a conversation and not just having a chat. As you can see, Richard just replied. Now, to do that, he had to click the reply button under my conversation. Otherwise, if you start a new conversation, you're actually going to create something below it. Now we have two separate conversations, whereas Richard replied to my first one. Now let's say that this particular team needed to have additional channels. What we would do is we would go to the ellipses to the right of my new team. I click on it, and I click on Add Channel. And let's create this channel leveraging, I know I spelled that wrong, Microsoft Planner and Teams for my, as we can see that there's a character limit for project management. And I can automatically favorite this channel for the whole team, which I don't know if I want to do that for Rich, Leslie, and Amanda. It might inconvenience them. So creating a new channel is as simple as that. Now, if I wanted to manage my team, I just click on the ellipses, which is the more options. I click on Manage. And this gives me a whole slew of options of what I can do. So if I wanted to add more members, it's very simple. I can just click right here, add somebody new. Let's add Tim Runcie. Oh, that is a search within the member, sorry. Add member, Tim Runcie. Add. Close. Another way that you can do that easily is by clicking on the ellipses as before and clicking on Add Members. It does the same exact thing. Pending requests is if a person within your team has requested anything. This will show up here. Channels. These are the channels that I just created. You can easily create a new channel by going over here, and you can see any that have been deleted down below. Settings. This is your settings for your channel or for your team. If you wanted to change your team picture, you can easily do that. If you want to change the permissions that each of your team members have, you can do this. You can allow your team members to create and update channels. You can allow them to delete or restore them. You can have them add or remove apps, and I'll talk about apps a little bit later. You can have them update and remove tabs. You can have them, anybody post messages or anybody can post and show an alert for that. You can have guest permissions, allowing guests to create and update channels. You can change the functionality of how using the @ mentions. This is the team code. This is where you would get, so if you wanted to generate a team code, then you would get this, give it to somebody, and they could then join your team. And then the fun stuff, which is allowing emojis or GIFs or stickers or stuff like that. And apps. Apps are kind of the wonderful connectors that can bring the functionality, more functionality to your team. As you can see that we have Forms, OneNote, Planner, SharePoint, and Stream. And I want to go over Planner specifically because I went over that earlier. The same thing that happens within the adding an app there, you can add them from this view as well. So I'm going to go back to General because we already have a conversation with Rich here. And I'm going to click on the Add a Tab button. Now, this is a little bit different from apps, but here are all of the tabs that are available. A tab is a kind of app that you can add. Apps can also be connectors, or you can actually develop your own apps to function within Teams. But we're going to go ahead and just click on Planner for now. I'm going to create a brand new plan. This is kind of a redundancy because I've already created a plan for this particular plan within Office 365 Planner. But as you can see, it gives me the full functionality of Office 365 Planner. So whether you want to use the online portion of Office 365 Planner, or you can use your Microsoft Teams and create plans that way, both work. As you can see, I have my 3 views here. I have my board, I have my chart view, and I have my scheduler view. I skipped over the files in the wiki, and I told you that I would come back to that later. So while that's a wonderful tool, being able to add a planner board directly to each individual team, one of the other ways that one of the other things that you can do is have a document library, and that's what this files tab is here. This is essentially a SharePoint document library, and you can open it in SharePoint if you want to, or you can just start uploading or dragging or dropping your files in here so that your entire team has the ability to see what's available. This is such a wonderful little tool, and this is the one thing that one of the things that Microsoft Office 365 Planner kind of lacks is the ability to drag and drop files into one document library. I mentioned that you can add attachments to particular tasks, which is wonderful and great to use within Planner, but they're not all within the same library. And that's one thing that I really enjoy about Microsoft Teams. The other tab up here is the wiki, and this is just like it's the Microsoft Wiki app tool, but essentially it's almost like a Word document, but it's a wiki. You just update sections, you can add new pages from the bottom left-hand corner and just add information for your whole team this way. The one area of information that maybe your entire team needs to keep going back to. If you wanted to add another tab, you have the ability to add Word documents. You can add websites just for everybody to easily go to. You can add a PowerPoint tab so that they can view presentations. If you have Power BI and you have reports, you can add a Power BI report where people can just click on that and see what the report. There are so many different options over here and down here. Like if you use MailChimp or MailClark or Sociable or Way We Do or any of these, they have the ability to connect directly straight into your team. I know that Evernote is one that we use quite often at home, and that could be a really wonderful functionality to bring it to your team. So with that being said, I need to continue. I'm almost out of time, so I just want to go over a couple more things. So that's Microsoft Teams, the Teams portion. There's a lot more functionality within what you could do for each individual team. But I'm going to move on to meetings. Now this is linked directly to my Outlook calendar. And as you can see this on this left-hand side, I can go change it to the next day. I can go back to today. I can change my view from today view to my agenda view, which shows me kind of the upcoming weeks. I can easily schedule a meeting by clicking this button down here and then putting all of the information. As you can see, if you've ever used the Outlook Office 365 web app, this is a very similar to scheduling a meeting within that. The next tab down here on the left side is calls. You have your contacts, which as you can see these are all of my contacts in here. You can easily add a new contact, you can add a new group, you can move contacts to different groups, and the history, which is what I showed you earlier with under activity. The last one here is really files. It shows you all of my recent files, all the files that are in all of my teams. This shows you my downloads that have been shared to me within a conversation and I've downloaded them. And then cloud storage. You can add your OneDrive directly to your Microsoft Teams files. Those little ellipses down here gives you the option to look at Planner, OneNote, Microsoft Stream, Who, and Wiki. You can go to the store and add some more. So with that being said, I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. And that is a quick functionality of what Microsoft Planner and Microsoft Teams do and how you can leverage them for lightweight project management. The last thing I want to go over real quick is where Microsoft's going with Planner and Teams. Microsoft is getting ready to phase out Skype for Business and have Teams take over for that communication and collaboration tool. Templates for teams and plans are coming in place really shortly. So as you saw, you can use a template for Microsoft Teams to create a new team. Planner is coming out with that function in Q1 of 2019. Microsoft is creating a better integration between Teams and SharePoint. So that way there's less of a going back and forth and opening a browser and going to the SharePoint group, but you can do everything within Teams. And Microsoft is integrating Planner with To-Do, so that way you can have more functionality and see what your particular plan, how it coordinates with what you've put on your to-do list. Microsoft was originally going to integrate Planner with Microsoft Outlook, but they've changed in the last month and a half to have it coordinate with To-Do instead because of the upcoming updates that they have planned for Microsoft Outlook. All right, I'm sorry that I don't have any time for questions, but thank you so much for watching. Amanda?
Yeah, thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. We welcome your questions and feedback, and for those of you who ask questions during today's session, we will reach out to you individually. For more information, you can email us at contact@advisicon.com. Once you exit today's webinar, you will receive a survey on this presentation. You will need to complete and submit that survey in order to receive your PDUs. From there, you will receive a follow-up email within 2 business days with your PDU information. If you're watching this recording on YouTube or another social media platform, please be sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And on behalf of Advisicon, Michael, and myself, thank you for joining us today. And we hope to see you participate in our future webinars. Have a great day, everyone.